Hello, this is the educative channel of Gerald Johan van Waas. This channel is dedicated to the understanding of letter combinations, and there's a method there that explains these letter combinations as meaningful combinations and orientations in a way that it is formed by a natural system that you can compare to how we hear letters. We sense them as specific orientations in time or in space or in reorientation in time and space. And as a combination of these points and the interaction between these points and the feedback that happens by the combination of these points is very quickly done in our mind. We hear the differences, we associate them with the letters, and at the end of the word we have a small feedback moment where we can say, okay, here's the balance between these words, and we associate it with a specific word and orientation. For the moment we know that it is easily associated, that we recognize a word and we have an image that reflects this word. Of course, we have abstract words as well. So what is this image? This image is based upon a pattern that is recognized in our mind. And this pattern with a feedback system is also comparable by another reflective talent that we have in our body, how we react also in our ear to movements that we notice and how we have to anticipate to this. In other words, the movements, which are also based upon places in space that also know directions of change, and an extra feedback system in between them is anticipated in our middle ear as a finding a balance. See, this is actually the same kind of thing, and we sense how we have to react. Of course, words are more mental, it's a more mental process, it's more subtle, but it is exactly the same thing. And I developed first the method to change these positions into a system that you can build upon further and change these combinations of points into a form that formulates and expresses what happens there in the interaction. That's a very difficult method. This method is based upon a synesthesia that I request from you that you learn, but that's a lot to ask. It's much more easy for each person simply to follow movements. Everybody knows movements, can anticipate the movements and sense the movements. The same thing with sign language, which is very close, much closer to in our brain to letter recognition and language understanding. The signs are also a form of language understanding. And if I express with my hands, which I can express a lot of things with, if I have the features that I need to express what I need to express as the letters, as the positions, as forms, it will be grasped more easily, because also when I have the fixed points and I move them somewhere, it will also need to have a certain interaction effect, and if the effect is producing the right effect that it's supposed to do, then it also means that I'm correct in having the foundations in a sign language. And so far it works quite well, and I understood where these letters can be translated into a sign language. So I make the sign language, so express it as a sign language, and you can sense it much more easily. And that's what I will do also in the next all the videos. And I'm already busy quite a while, so I hope this this will get to a right understanding and confrontation with people, that they see, okay, I understand this. I had already the explanation of mo. Now I go to the other position, the opposite position, om. Om is a Dutch word, so okay, we don't have this letter combination in English. But of course we also know or oom as of course, so I will take these as well. I first wanted to do this all only in Dutch, but okay, it's the same thing, so why not in English as well? And so what will I do? I will have as a foundation to express the letters and to make you experience the combinations. I will use the letter meaning based sign language, or the LMS point of approach. So I will express O with M. We already had M plus O, and we already knew that the result, I had that in the previous one, the result came to the combination that took the form of mo. So from here you could express mo. And why is this a bit wider? Why it isn't? It's because of this feedback system. You have a movement and you don't immediately stop when I say you have to stop. If I would do that, you have M plus O, you have just this, the opening already, it will always, you can't stop immediately. I will go a slightly large, slightly enlarges. If you do, and you say I have to stop here, it's almost impossible, or it will be forced. So it will always be slightly. This will always be a slight continuation of what you have. A natural movement. In every natural movement, it is like that. If you push 3 steps forward, you already go more forward than it's needed. You're not a robot. Go forward and I'll go backward. It doesn't work like that. Our body anticipates, and that's good, because then we experience what it is. If we go forward, we will fall, or the other way around, we will fall back. That's the anticipation, very important. So with the mo, the anticipation will make it slightly larger, and thanks to this combination of M and O, we will understand it also. I expressed it, that the normal environment that it is expressed in O is already slightly enlarged, and that's what you will have. You will have all kinds of associations that can be associated from there, that you have the fixed form, you have the direct environment, and if it's enlarged, if it's slightly enlarged, then you have a form that will slightly enlarge from there. So if you can see, so that you have mouth, or in a Dutch word, mond. I expressed it in the Dutch video, the mond. So the t will already separate it, and the n will do something in between. I didn't express mouth, but it has the same effect, of course. So what we will do when we will do the opposite around. So instead of M plus O, we'll go to O plus M. What will happen if we have the movement in the other way around? So you have the M that we have to reach. So if you go from O to M, what will happen? Of course, your fingers will come together with some movement, and they will press together. They will press, of course, a little bit larger together and the one side to the other side, the one side is like the A affected, so it's the application is almost like overdone. Let's say it's overdone. The overdone, so the M will have almost like a pressure point, and it will have a dominance over what is inside. What is the dominance? It's of course the dominance will come from the environment, what surrounds people, what surrounds the subject, and it will have a grasp on the object, so yeah, that you can sense them. So what kind of words did I have in the Dutch video? I had like which means for the purpose of, you use it for a certain purpose. You have that, or because. You have omwikkelen or wrapping. You can sense, of course, this wrapping. I'm going to grasp it and use it for something. That's what the sense is underneath. That's what you can sense underneath. And that's actually what it is. You have what normally is from the surrounding is now connected to the form. That's also what you can derive from it. It goes all automatically. That's how association goes automatically. But you will have this. You will have the feedback that it will respond accordingly to this kind of reaction. So keep it abstract if you like. It maybe for if you start to have a risk to associate it wrongly, keep the abstract and keep the sense to it as the essence, not more than that. But so you have the here, so the small but you have of course also the word the Indian and even you have, if I go from there, you also have of course the with the H in between. I will check both. So O plus M. It's O plus M. What do we have with Very clearly, is longer than O. So the O is a larger letter than O. And how do in Dutch it's very easy. You have the short O is one O, and the large O, or the O, it's a double O. So it's the doubling of its form, and that's how we can express the O is a longer O, it's a doubling of O. Even if these are different sounds, and okay, but that's another story. It can be expressed like that. So this is so we need 2 times the O, or the U plus M. So what will be the effect? The effect will be different, of course, than When we have the O with the O, we may express it. Again, we're not robots, so we're not going to say Robots don't understand it, but if you have and you have an emphasizing, it will enlarge, and you will express it better. So you will do a doubling of its effect. This is the first effect. Do a doubling of the effect. That's the that's the O. So the O can better be expressed like this. And now we have the M. Suddenly we have to go to the middle. So here in the right order. So what will be the effect? Of course, if you do that, if you have and then this is a very large space that you have to bridge. So you have already a larger space than you originally intended. And you have it all the way down. Of course, it will give you more power, and this pressing to the M will have an after effect, and that's what it always is about this after effect. What's the after effect of What's the after effect of It will be a different one. Here the is just a small connection, direct connection, but is much more than a small connection. It will be an enlarged connection, as you will be seeing shortly. What is underneath? What's the abstract structure of reference underneath? So I have an orientation point. I will just simply express what's underneath the sign language. You have the O and then the O. It's a doubling of O. It's an enlargement of the environment. The environment that you normally have around an object, around a situation, what you have normally around yourself and can still use it, here it is enlarged. So now you are associating things that you normally don't think about it, normally won't associate it. So it's enlarged. So it's getting you involved into a larger section. That's what you can sense there, that's what you can associate there, and that's how it is associated. So what will happen then when it goes back to the M? So you go to the M is there underneath. It will have the extra effect of not stopping there. We're not robots, so we anticipate. So here's the after effect. It goes inwardly in the same way as it was built up in the first place outwardly. The same thing also goes now inwardly. And that's how we can understand OM. That's how OM is used. So what we are able to connect outwardly to what we don't understand and have it reflected inwardly, that's how the OM is able to work and how it can be associated from there. But what about OM with an H in between? The H is expressed in as a sign, as a letter meaning sign language, as this is a confined space, and this confined space is meant to discover which areas are interconnected and which other areas are also interconnected. So where are the separate areas in which something can work vividly and so on. When I express it like that, it already immediately fits with the two areas, the round circles outwardly, the squares inwardly, and it's just the difference in between. And here is the H area in which you can associate from there what is happening in here. You have the extension of the O and you have the reflection inwardly, and it's this tension indeed between what is enlarging to what is restricting, which is exactly what it expresses with OM. And that is also how electricity can flow through via this element of tension of that you can measure how much of the energy that is trying to get larger and express itself, how much it can how much it is restricted in a way as well, or how much it is limited in a way, how we are able also to get it get the application inside. Let's express it like that. I hope I expressed OM well enough. Sorry if it wasn't clear enough. If so, but I think you can understand the sense where it is and where it is measured. The funny thing is, if I see where these points of expression of OM are, it actually fit very well with the OM symbol. Because here it is, you can even see the tension where it is enlarging and where it is bringing together its limit before it can express its real voltage, let's say, in electricity. So without now all the hand gestures, underneath the structure you can indeed recognize how the OM is coming together into your own environment of connections that you connect from within your own center. That's the OM that I expressed before with a long O. And the OM with the H to it is this tension point in the two active spaces of activity, of kind of activity that is taking place within the same subject, let's say. I hope this was clear enough. I hope it was an enlargement of your ability of associations that you had before. If so, then I'm very happy. Anyhow, thanks for listening and watching. This was Gerald was again. There's a list of explained words and demonstrations at the website. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like for more demonstrations and instructions. Thanks again. See you soon. Bye.